Welcome to Momentum Investing, property investing made easy. One of the world's top podcasts on property investing, bringing you the top experts in the field so you can learn firsthand what it takes to create passive income and take control over your financial future.
Welcome to the Momentum Investing Podcast. We have an exciting show here for you this week. I am interviewing Italina Kirkness on how to build your brand on LinkedIn to specifically raise investor capital. This is going to be really exciting. We went in deep into the details. How do you post? What do you post? How do you get the best possible effect through LinkedIn? So if you're looking to raise more investment capital and you're looking to use social media as a tool, well, this episode is for you. So this is super exciting. This is also the first episode of the Momentum Investing Podcast on a Thursday. In case you have missed our update, the podcast will from now on come out on Thursday morning, so you can listen to it on your way to work, at lunch, on the way home, whenever fits for you. But Thursdays is the new day because we have launched a new multimedia strategy now, a new content calendar, as we're calling it, where we on Tuesdays, instead of having that as our podcast day, instead on Tuesdays, we do a financial update on the UK economy on our YouTube channel. You can find us by searching for Momentum Property Education on YouTube. So that comes out on Tuesdays. We also, for our Facebook community, we do on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. We have a Q&A for our mentorship mastermind students. On Wednesdays, we have in the Facebook group International Property Investors. So if you're not a member of that group yet, it's a Facebook community with over 1,500 international property investors. And Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Central European time, we do a live Q&A where you can ask any questions you have on property, and we help you and help you move forward. So that is a really good session. On Wednesday evenings, our mastermind group meets up at 7 p.m. And then on Thursday is when the podcast comes out. So we're really excited about this. We, at 1 p.m. on Thursdays, we got Central European time, we got a clubhouse room where we have speakers from all over the world sharing their insights on personal development, self-leadership, and really taking your game to the next level. We, on Saturdays, also have a YouTube show coming out. It is our Passive Income Saturday show. So please make sure you follow us on Clubhouse. You can find us on Property Skills or my name, Daniel Wood. You can connect with us on YouTube at Momentum Property Education. And of course, make sure you join the Facebook community at International Property Investors. Also, if you want, please connect with us on Instagram. We're on at Momentum Property Education. We have started there sharing kind of behind the scenes, what's going on with Momentum Property Education, what are new things that are coming out, what are new features we're working out, as well as what is the behind the scenes of doing a property deal. How do you actually do deals? What do you have to think, do, act in order to achieve success as a property investor? So you have that ability to follow along on Instagram. So a lot of cool things coming through the shoot, and I hope you are excited. Now, I'm not going to take any more of your time because I want to get into this interview with Italina. It is so valuable. She is amazing and gave us some great insights. So please enjoy the episode. Welcome to the Momentum Investing Podcast. I am here with Italina, who is an expert when it comes to building your brand in the property space. So we're very excited to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Awesome.
So please tell us a little bit more about you, your background. How did you get into helping property owners, real estate agents, and anyone in the property industry start building their brand to raise more capital, to get more clients? How did you fall into that?
Absolutely. Well, I began in the legal field. So if you connect with me on, say, LinkedIn, you'll see I have my Juris Doctorate. I began there. And even if you work for a major company, you still want to have your individual brand, your personal identity. And I just happened to fall into doing that because I was actually miserable in what I was doing, working in law. I was miserable. I knew I wanted to make a career shift. So I began branding myself, promoting myself. I began doing that starting with LinkedIn because that's a professional site. And that's how companies started noticing me and seeing, wow, I love what she's doing. I need someone to do that for me. We need someone to do that for us. And
Oh,
that's
that's
how it
cool.
evolved, one company after another, one client after the other. So I ended up starting my own social media company 9 years ago in 2012.
Very cool. So what were the things you were doing on LinkedIn that got you that much attention?
Yeah, so most people who are on LinkedIn, there are over 600 million users on LinkedIn. There's actually two things. One, those users, they're primarily looking. They're primarily looking at other people's posts and shares. So as a result, when I did post, I had greater visibility because there weren't as many people, and still there are not as many people posting as there are users.
Right.
LinkedIn
So compare it to Facebook where everyone's posting and it's all about how many likes did I get. LinkedIn is more about me looking at what is new in my industry and my network. So I'm a viewer instead of a creator, so to speak.
Totally. So that allows the creators, the people who are sharing, the opportunity to establish themselves as the go-to.
Right.
LinkedIn has a favorable algorithm compared to the other social media sites. The algorithm is in your favor, keeping greater visibility for you.
Okay. All right. So what kind of things are you posting? I mean, I've posted things on LinkedIn, some have taken off, but most kind of sputter out and die and never really gain much traction. How do you post? And maybe we do today because obviously it was very different 9 and 15, 20 years ago. Where are we today? How do I get a post to go viral on LinkedIn?
Yeah, so if you're looking at, hey, my target market are investors, you're wanting to address the things that are of interest to them. They want to see your credibility, they want to see your expertise, experience, right? They have challenges that they want to see that you can address. So what you're doing is you're speaking to that specific audience. So your message, it actually hasn't changed over the last whatever 10, 15 years. What's changing is depends on your audience. So if that's who your audience is, then that's who you're speaking to. And you want to literally sit down behind your computer and type as if a member of that audience, as if that investor is right in front of you. And what are you saying to them? That is the key.
Right. So, I mean, I obviously have multiple different media choices. We could do video, I could do pictures, I could do text. Is it mainly like writing a text post, or do I use the other multimedia choices?
Oh, I definitely am a believer in variety. So if you can do a video, fabulous. If you can share a graphic, fabulous. If you're doing it typing and you have a picture to go with that content, fabulous. All of the mediums, variety is important.
Right. And when we're talking about, so now we're already getting into specifics because I find this really, really interesting. Because I think I mean, obviously the people listening to this podcast are mainly property investors. We're looking for people to invest in our property deals. And so we're going out to LinkedIn and we're hoping, because that's a perfect target market, right? There's a lot of very wealthy people on LinkedIn and they're there. And if we can establish ourselves as experts, that brings the investors. But so what do I write? Should it be a long post? Is it short? Do I use hashtag? What are the kind of how do I go about making a quality post for LinkedIn? Because it's very different to say Instagram.
Excellent. Yeah. So first things first, I like to say that post, whatever you're posting, that's like an invitation to people to come over to your profile, to your bio, to your page. It's like an invitation to bring people to your house. But you wouldn't invite people to your house if your house isn't in order. So first things first, we need to get our bios, our profiles in order so that when those investors or whoever it is you're looking to connect with do come over to your page, they see right away, oh my gosh, yes, he is someone I want to connect with. Oh my gosh, yes, she is definitely someone I want to connect with, right? So we're making sure our house is in order. So I even invite your viewers here, connect with me on LinkedIn. People say, oh my God, your bio. They say, they're like, oh my God, your bio is so impressive. I'm like, yep, that's what I do for a living. So looking at, is this does your profile look like someone that individual would want to connect with, would see the value in connecting with you? So going through that and establishing all the credibility, making sure all your expertise is there. Just in the last year, LinkedIn has added new features that allows you to really shine, really display your experience and expertise there. So now your profile is not just looking like a stagnant resume. It's more like a piece of marketing material that really promotes you.
Very cool. All right. So
That's one thing.
guys, first things first now. We go to Italina's LinkedIn profile and we copy paste, but we tweak it to make about us, right? But use her as an inspiration, right? I mean, you are the expert, so why would we not learn from what you're doing? So we start by connecting with you on LinkedIn. That's step one, and we do what the expert is doing. Step two now, what do we do next? Now I put my house in order. I look like an attractive person to connect with. So what's the next step?
Awesome. So now what we're doing is now it's time to create the posts that are going to attract people, to pull people to your bio.
Right. So essentially I put my house in order. I cleaned it up. It looks all nice. The drinks are out. The party is ready to get started. Now it's time to invite people to the party.
Now we can send out the invitations. And the thing is, over the course of a year, let's just take a year, for example, you're going to be sharing a variety of things. So meaning you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of ways in which you can help the people in your audience. So let's just say in this case, investors, you have a variety of different things that you can speak on. So rather than speaking on all of those things all at once in one huge long post, you're going to break it out so that if you're posting even just a couple times a week over the span of a year, you've got plenty to say, you have plenty of content. So I like to do a couple of different types of topics or content. So one, it's going to be like your educational, like showing, hey, when you're in this situation, this is the ideal thing you want to do. So I'm giving away my knowledge, my experience. It's like the things you spend talking on the phone with potential clients, that makes content. That's knowledge, that's experience, that's expertise.
Right. And it's like a specific point, a specific problem. So, if you're tired I'm thinking from an investor now, if I'm tired of actually having a negative interest in my bank account, this is what you do. And you write a short post about that, because there are now countries in Denmark, for example, if you have, I think it's about 500,000 Danish krone, that's about $70,000 in your bank account, you actually have a negative interest rate. So then I would write a piece talking about, if you have a negative interest rate, we'll do this instead. And it's short, specific about that, and it invites them then to my profile.
Precisely. Excellent. Okay, great. So that's an excellent example, giving some education, helping people out in specific situations. So that's one way. And then there's also, we want to educate people about you, right? Saying, speaking from your personal experience as it relates to your work. So maybe you personally have been in a situation where you had that negative interest. You can share your personal experience. And then what happens is that allows people to connect with you, to really resonate with you on a human level, as a human, not just as a person with this job title.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference. And I tend to do that. I like to share, I actually was formerly a tennis. I formerly worked in law, and I shared how I was miserable. I actually shared that story in a video. I have it on my YouTube channel. And I share that periodically on LinkedIn, and people resonate having been miserable in a career and shifting to a career that they now love.
Detailed question there. That's really interesting, because so you have that on your YouTube channel. Are you sharing the YouTube link to LinkedIn, or are you sharing the video directly on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I'm a fan of sharing the YouTube link, just because you can track the numbers, how many people have viewed the video, etc. You're going to get some good results too if you're sharing videos directly to LinkedIn. It just all depends on your goals. If you don't care about your YouTube channel, share the video directly onto LinkedIn.
Well, I'm thinking the reason I asked is because, if you do that on Facebook, Facebook gives you literally zero spread, right? On Facebook, they want the actual video. But you're saying on LinkedIn, it actually works to link to another page, and they'll still let it come up through their algorithm.
Yeah, because remember, LinkedIn has the most favorable algorithm.
Right. All right. So that's really interesting. So you have that kind of core pillar content on your YouTube channel, and periodically you share that, telling your story, letting people into getting to know you. So you got the educational piece, you got the personal piece. What else should we be posting?
Yeah, and I was just going to say too, what's really important about also having it on your YouTube channel, if you care, again, for my purposes, I have a social media company. It makes sense to have a YouTube channel.
You have to be on social media, yes.
Yeah. So what's great about having it there is once I post it on LinkedIn, it kind of disappears. If I made a video 5 years ago, I'd have to do a lot of hunting on LinkedIn or whatever social media site I posted it on to find that video again if I wanted to share it again. Where it's there on my channel, it's like my portfolio, so to speak. Anyone can go there at any point and see that information. It's not going to disappear, and I can share it again at any point.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're allowing people to learn our insights. We're giving away free education. We're allowing people to get to know us on a human level. So again, I'm not sharing private things. I'm sharing things that are personal that I don't mind people knowing, that I left
and it has to do with business, right? We're not sharing about how great a time I had throwing the ball with my dog yesterday, because it's not Facebook, it's LinkedIn.
We're sharing things that we can tie in to business.
Right.
So I can share those when I'm saying personal, I mean it's personal to me. It's not necessarily work. It's not necessarily business, but I can tie it into business. I can make sure that other professionals can relate to it.
Right.
So the question we're asking ourselves on LinkedIn, because we're not limited to just sharing articles, we're not limited to just sharing corporate stuff. What the question we're going to ask ourselves before we post on LinkedIn is, can other professionals relate to this?
Right.
And I just make that distinction because I want to make sure people know you can get a little personal on LinkedIn. And that could be as simple as, oh, hey, what happens to everyone in the afternoon as far as their energy level? They kind of go through this crash a little bit. They go for a cup of coffee. Any professional can relate to that. Yeah. And believe it or not, I shared this as a story, how, one day I just decided to take an actual nap instead of drinking a coffee, which is basically a nap in a cup. And I shared this on LinkedIn and it got a ton of engagement. Why? It was personal, but yet other professionals could relate to it. So I just wanted to distinguish between, we can get a little personal on LinkedIn.
That's brilliant. All right. So I'm posting these. Now, what do I do with, do I use a bunch of hashtags? Is there a upper limit, lower limit? How should I be using that to get that additional exposure, or doesn't it matter?
Well, it does definitely play a part. Again, the advantage that we have on LinkedIn is that LinkedIn has the most favorable algorithms. I've said that 3 times now, so that means
we're starting to get it. You'll say it 4 more times and we'll get it.
Yeah, so that means this is definitely a place where we want to take advantage of that visibility. So a greater visibility for you, establishing yourself as the go-to. The next piece is knowing the culture. So the culture of LinkedIn is obviously more professional. So we're not going to share 30 hashtags. We want to make sure it looks professional. So if you look at a post on LinkedIn, having a couple lines, and each line has about 3 hashtags, having a couple lines of hashtags allows the post to still look pretty neat.
Right.
Really,
so we're talking have 3 to 6 hashtags on a post.
Totally.
Right. All right. And then so now this is about posting kind of on my profile, so to speak, as me. There are obviously other ways to post as well. I could post on my company page. I could go to different LinkedIn groups, and I could write these kind of full-on articles where I'm a contributor, a LinkedIn contributor. How do these kind of play? How do I use these different kind of tools that LinkedIn has?
Yes, awesome. So these are great tools that you have. And again, I would invite your users to your audience here to connect with me on LinkedIn. You can see some how I've utilized some of these tools. Namely, for example, LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to publish an article or publish a blog. And this is huge because LinkedIn has what I call Google juice. So meaning if someone Googles you, sure, maybe your website will come up, but for sure your LinkedIn's going to come up. That's top two things right there. So we want to make sure again that credibility is there in that profile. That's why the bio again is so important. That profile, that bio, getting that in order, because when people are Googling you, doing their research or due diligence, one of the things that comes up is your professional LinkedIn profile. So that's going to be huge. Again, the bio for that reason. Number two, when they go to your bio, one of the things that stays on your profile are any articles that you've published on LinkedIn.
Right.
And that means, again, it's another opportunity for people to see your credibility, see why they should work with you. It allows you to basically market yourself. So we're not just using LinkedIn as a stagnant resume. We want this to be almost like another website, another piece of marketing material for you. So the article is going to be huge because it boosts you again, as far as showing a place to display your credibility, but also if you have answered a key question that's consistently being asked on Google around real estate, around investment, around properties, if you publish an article addressing that concern, your LinkedIn article can pop up on Google. So now it's not just about being on social media. It's about being searchable, being found on a site as big as Google.
Right. And that's creating then a synergy, because obviously most of the people searching on Google, if they open a LinkedIn article, means they have a LinkedIn profile. They might like your article, share your article, and then that creates kind of a viral loop for you.
Well, but also too, they see, oh my God, this person is speaking directly to what I just Googled. Yeah. I need to contact this person. I need to work with this person.
Yep. Very cool. All right. So that's the article one. How about like using groups and pages? Does that work on LinkedIn? Is that important, less important, or should I be putting all my focus onto my connections and my profile for posting?
Okay, so when we're looking at who we want to work with, we're consistently wanting to expand our network, right? We're wanting more visibility. We're wanting more people to know that you exist so that they can work with you. So we don't want to just be limited to our LinkedIn, our current LinkedIn connections. Groups is a wonderful way to expand your network, expand your visibility. So I'll tell you just from personal experience, what happens is I join groups where I feel my potential clients, where they can't kind of hang out. So you can actually do a search on LinkedIn for a keyword, let's say investors or investments, and filter down to groups, and it'll pull up all the groups that has those keywords in there. If you want to connect with golfers, tennis players, boat lovers, right? You type those keywords in the search box on LinkedIn, and any groups that has those keywords will pop up. Okay, excellent. So now that we've seen which group we want to join, because we can see a whole bunch of potential clients in this group. So we found the group that has your potential clients. You request to join that group. And first things first, I treat it as if I just entered a dinner party. I'm going to say, hey, it's so great to be in this group of investors. I look forward to seeing what you have to share and to contributing. So I just kind of do a welcome. I don't just start selling and pitching.
Right. So you don't write a long article about this is me and what I can do. It's just, hey, thank you for being here. I appreciate being a part of it.
Totally. So just like you would, I think, again, when we get behind computers, we tend to turn into these marketing robots or these spammy people. We want to pretend like the person is right in front of us. And what would you say if they were right in front of you?
Right. I mean, if I was coming to a party, I wouldn't get up on a chair and tell everyone, hey, I'm just here. I'm going to tell you my life story, and then you can all come and buy my product. we go and introduce ourselves one at a time and take it easy and get to know each other. All right, perfect.
Yeah. So now that we've introduced ourselves, then maybe the next day or the day after or the next week, and now I'm sharing a post speaking. First of all, I like to look first what's being shared so I can kind of get a feel, right? Get a feel for the party. And when I see anything that I can comment on, that's going to be huge, because now that's going to allow for people to say, oh, this new person that I don't know just commented on my post or just liked my post. Oh, who's that? And they go to your profile and they see all your awesomeness because you've redone your profile.
Because there is the sales pitch, right? So the actual interactions is not the sales pitch. It's when they reach your actual profile.
Totally. So you either redone your profile or you've delegated it to a team like mine to have us redo your profile for you. That person sees your awesomeness and then maybe they send you a connection request. What I like to do is, since LinkedIn shows you if people have come to your profile, even if they didn't send you a connection request, what I like to do is go and send them one, even if they haven't sent me one, and say, hey, I see you stopped by my profile. What made you stop by? Or, oh, I see that we're both members of such and such a group. Let's network. Let's connect, see how we can be.
You write a personal message. You see they come to you, you send them an invite, and you write them a little personal message just saying, hey, this is why you're getting this invitation.
Exactly. You always want to tell people what was the connection. Oh, I saw you came by my profile. Oh, I see we're a part of the same investment group on LinkedIn.
Right. And what do I do? Like, just around the question, the requests, I get probably a dozen requests a day, and most of them I have no idea who the person is. Should I be accepting everyone? Should I be very choosy? Like, this person, I have no idea who it is. It seems like a scammy account. I'll remove it. How should I be acting around requests?
The same way you would in person. If someone knocks on your door, someone calls you, if you, so what you would say is, oh, hi, thanks for stopping by, right? Thanks for connecting with me on LinkedIn. What made you want to connect? Right? Just like if someone were to ring your doorbell, hey, thanks for stopping by. How can I help you? Right? So I like to ask them, what made you want to connect? Because now it forces them to talk. It forces them to say, where it allows me to weed out, do they want to network? Do they want to possibly work together? And I've gotten several, my clients and I have gotten several responses from, oh, I saw on your profile that you are a social media expert, that you do social media management, or that you're in real estate, or that you're in property management. And that's why I want to connect. I'm having this situation. We'll love to see if we might be a good fit.
Right. And just because you wrote that message meant they felt you were open and they had the right to ask that further question. Mm-hmm. All right. So now kind of a time management question now, because obviously we could spend hours doing all this on LinkedIn, writing these brilliant articles, spending time in groups, posting, commenting. If I'm going to spend maybe 15 minutes a day, what should I be doing on LinkedIn? Where do I put those 15 minutes?
Sure. And I wouldn't even put that much. And I would only put like maybe 1 or 2 days a week. So I would go on and do is once you've got your profile in order, if you had us redo your profile for you, then you want to go in, make sure you join the groups that you want to join. That takes just a couple minutes, literally 2 minutes, to do a keyword search and join the groups that you want to join, and go in and just comment. That's just a few minutes. And then on another day, let's say another week, you see you got off the phone with someone who had this particular challenge in property management, and you had the solution or you had answers. You're going to share a post on that. Boom. That's a few minutes, right? So you're only spending a few minutes a week. I literally check my inbox once a week. I have that comment, hey, thanks for connecting. What made you want to connect? I have that on my desktop, so I can just copy paste it into all the messages that are sent. So we're being really efficient and very effective with our time.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I am sure everyone here wants to learn more from you about how we can get investor capital, how we can connect with brilliant people in the industry. How do we learn more from you? Where do we find you?
Sure. Well, really obvious. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's Talina
Surprise,
Kirk.
surprise. Yes.
I'm sure my name is on the screen or it'll be in the show notes. Send me a connection request. Let me know that you saw me here on Momentum Property Education. And so again, never send just an empty connection request. Let them know that you saw me here. Let the person know where you met them. So connect with me here. And that will be really a very easy way to do that.
Awesome. So everyone, yeah, I'll add Italina's LinkedIn profile to the show notes so you can find them here. But otherwise, just search on LinkedIn. You have her exact spelling in the title, how she spells her name. So you can just copy that. And yes, please let her know that you came from the Momentum Investing podcast so she knows that we have this vibrant community and how she got to know you. So Italina, thank you so much for joining us. I am very, very honored to have you here. We learned a lot, and I think this is going to be a brilliant and powerful tool for a lot of us to use to raise capital. So thank you so much for joining us.
Very good. Thank you so much.
And thank you everyone who listened. I really appreciate you taking the time. I got some exciting news in a moment, so stay tuned, and I'll share with you in a moment. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I hope you got a lot of value and I hope you implement some of this. As you know, if you can learn all you want, if you don't implement it, it doesn't really give you anything. So please make sure you implement this to get the maximum value out of it. Use these techniques and start raising capital through LinkedIn. So I'm super, super excited about this episode. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you subscribe to the Momentum Investing podcast because next week, so Thursday next week, we got none other than Mark Lloyd coming on the show. He is one of the top educators in the UK in property investing. He's going to give us some advice on how do we scale our portfolio using creative sources of finance. So make sure you stay tuned for that episode. It will come out on all your podcast platforms on Thursday next week. So I'll see you then. Thank you so much for joining us today.